Hey guys, Joe with Multiverse Replicas here today to do a short little review for something that I recently added to my collection, and that is this lovely piece right behind me here. So if you couldn't tell by the video description, this is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier model Captain America shield from the show Falcon and the Winter Soldier, also from the end of Avengers Endgame. Spoiler alert, I guess. So this is something that I picked up within the past month, or I purchased in the past month, and then just got it in the mail the other day. And that was all the result of a little trip that I took in December of 21 to C2E2 in Chicago. So when I went there, I had the pleasure of getting to stop by Comic Sandwich's booth. They had a bunch of their shields on display and for sale, and I got to check a bunch of them out, and I can honestly say that, so I had seen their work online, I had been to their Etsy shop before, seen pictures of it, it looks fantastic. I can honestly say that the effect of what you see in the pictures doesn't anywhere near do justice to what these things look like in real life. So pretty much once I saw it, I was like, eventually I'm going to get one of those in my collection. And this is coming from somebody who has made Captain America shields in the past. I've painted them. I've loved the paint jobs that I've done on them. It's a heck of a lot of work. It's very difficult to get a satisfying finish on them or to get a satisfying paint job, but it's something that I've done in the past. So they had one of these shields, this exact model of shield on display, and they were raffling it off. Well, they had a cool deal where if you dedicated a certain amount of money toward the raffle and then didn't end up winning, that you could use the amount of money that you put toward the raffle to put toward a purchase from their shop. So needless to say, I unfortunately did not end up winning the shield that they were raffling off, but I did pretty much immediately put into action using that raffle money that I had spent to make a purchase of my own, and obviously ended up picking up this shield. So I'm going to take it off of the wall mount that I have there. Right now I just have it on one of my 3D printed and laser cut aluminum wall mounts. And those are available in my Etsy store, by the way, if you are looking for a solution to get your Captain America shield up on the wall. But I'm going to pop this off the wall and then just show you the front and the back of it, talk about some of the cool features that I like, and then let you go. So I am going to set you down here real quick, and I am going to pop this off the wall. So this is just mounted with one single screw. So it just slides into this little bracket piece on the back here. And you can see that the way that this is connected is there are these 3 aluminum bars, and it just clips over the front of the shield with these little 3D printed pieces that are foam lined so as to not wreck the paint job. And then to get it off of this, all I need to do is undo some of these screws holding on either one of the 3D printed clips, or I could undo this one in the center and take the whole thing apart. Either way, I just need to unscrew a couple of screws. So I'm going to bring you over this way with me here. I'm going to set this on a sheet of paper so that I am not scuffing it on the wood top here. And I am just going to use my screwdriver to undo a couple of these fasteners here. There we go. And one more, and then we will be good to go. So one thing I will point out for anybody that has purchased one of these brackets from me, or anybody who's thinking about it, I always like to put this neck piece here up through one of the leather straps. The reason for that being, if, God forbid, if any part of this wall mount ever were to fail, if the 3D printed pieces were ever to break, which I've never had happen, but just what if, then it still has something potentially to support it. Because odds are these pieces of aluminum here are not going to be the thing to fail. So if any of the plastic pieces broke, my thought is that instead of falling, 4 feet to the floor and crashing down, at the very least maybe, or I guess at the most, it would slide down just a few inches and hopefully hang there at least until I was able to rescue it. So just a little recommendation for me with that. All right, so now that those screws are undone, I just slide this piece off the top, and then I can just slide the shield up and off of the mount so that it is no longer being detained. All right, and there we go. So here is the shield in all of its glory. So my favorite thing about this shield by far is the paint job. I have to say, again, as somebody who's done this before, the paint job is the hardest thing to get right. And, depending on which movie and which particular prop you're looking at, there's a number of different finishes and looks to them. But I would say that my favorite one is pretty much the one that they've nailed with this. It is the shiny aluminum look of the silver ring in the star, and then a kind of a more satiny anodized finish for the red and the blue. And the paint job on this is pretty near perfect. There's a couple of spots where the lines maybe aren't 100% crisp if you're really looking at it under a microscope, but as far as the overall finish, the general appearance of the shield, it is perfect. It's very smooth. There aren't any, little particles stuck in the paint job. There aren't any divots or runs or anything like that. It looks, for all intents and purposes, as close to perfect as I could expect it to look. And then for people who are familiar with this particular version of the shield, obviously it has this correct, I don't know what else to call it except coffin-shaped engraving in the center star. It has this accurate ring cutting through the center of the silver piece with these 5 little notches corresponding with the points of the star. And it also has this often missed detail of this extra engraved ring here in the outer red circle. So all of that is very accurate to the way that this thing looks in the show and in the movie. And I think that the front is amazing. And again, much more amazing in person than I'm sure it's even coming across in this video or in their pictures. And here is the back. So I decided to splurge a little bit of extra money to get the rings engraved in the back, just because those are a part of the movie props. And even though most people aren't going to see this part of my shield, since it's pretty much often going to be displayed the way that I had it on the wall before with only the colored rings facing out, it's just something that, as a stickler for as close to accurate as possible, I didn't want to go without. So I got the rings engraved in the back. You can see that it's got these nice adjustable leather straps. And one detail that I really like, even though it is not necessarily screen accurate, is this little engraved plaque in the center on the back. So it says sword. So anybody familiar with Marvel knows what that is. Sword, combat, shield. And I know that the functional purpose of that is to cover up the hole that is left from the metal spinning process. But even though it's not accurate, I think it's a nice little touch just to make it feel like an in-world piece that could really be wielded by, Captain America or Sam Wilson. So there is my full review and show and tell of the shield. If you have been looking at these, if you've been thinking about getting one, I can wholeheartedly tell you that you should just bite the bullet and do it. You will not be disappointed. The creators of the shop, Grayson, and his marketing partner, Dylan, both of whom I got to meet at C2E2, were super nice guys, really fantastic to meet, and offer great customer service. So they have my support. You have my support to go out and get this shield. And if you need a solution to display it, go ahead and check out my Etsy store for these wall mounts. If you have any questions about the shield or about the wall mounts, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm all ears and I'm happy to help. All right, You guys have a great day.